there's something that I say all the time on my stream. It's like, you can be anywhere on Twitch. You can be anywhere. You can go to any channel on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or anywhere, but you chose to hang out here today. And to me, that's really, really humbling and really special to me, that you chose my channel. Out of the thousands of channels on Twitch, you chose mine. To me, that's enough. That's fine by me. If you're doing that, that's absolutely amazing and great. So thank you. And I thank those people who do that. Hello, this is Bwana. We're back with another video. We're going to be talking about some stuff that happened on the Twitterverse in regards to the Twitch stuff that's been going on. This is kind of related to an announcement that Twitch made. I haven't covered it here. I've been meaning to talk about it, but time passed. And it had to do with their Twitch Turbo feature. And Turbo is something, it's a paid service that Twitch offers on their website to give you a premium kind of a Twitch experience, which means no advertisements over the entire site. There's also some little things like you get custom channel name colors and some other little things like that. But the main draw of Twitch Turbo is to remove ads. And Twitch announced that they were going to increase the price by, I think, like $3 or something like that. So there was a lot of talk on Twitter, and Pyromancer, which is a guy I found from Final Fantasy XIV, but he was previously known in World of Warcraft. He voiced some opinions about advertising, and the whole idea is that Pyro was speaking on behalf of streamers, saying that he was defending the streamer perspective, saying that streamers depend on ads and we depend on subs and all this kind of stuff. So something happened where he responded in kind of a weird way. And this guy named Eddie was like saying 1 to 2 ads are fine. 8 unskippable ads makes the content unwatchable, especially live content. It's either ad blocker or I just don't watch at all. We are all going ad blind, and the more ads they serve us, the less we pay attention and the less our eyeballs are worth. And from what he said there, I think I partially agree with that, because as a consumer of content myself, I don't like advertisements. I try to do things to get rid of ads, and that doesn't necessarily mean ad blocking. That means like I have Twitch Turbo. I'm heavily considering like YouTube Premium and other services like that, because I consume a lot of content on those platforms. So I think it's worth the money to pay for no advertisements. One of the reasons, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like Hulu, is because my wife and I used to use Hulu.com all the time. And they were one of the first ones I remember that came out with an ad-free service. They were like, hey, get our premium Hulu with no ads. But there was a little footnote in that said, oh, some content may serve ads anyway. And that some content was like some of the newer episodes. At the time, we were watching the Blacklist with James Spader. Really excellent series. And that was one of the series that we were like looking forward to every week, and we were watching on Hulu, but they would serve ads on it. And I was paying for the no ads feature. So I immediately was put off by that, and I just canceled it. I'm like, there's no point in me doing this if you're going to serve me ads anyway. So I'm all for doing stuff to get rid of ads, because they're intrusive. I can't sit through ads. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. And people who sit through them, thank you so much, but you have more patience than I do. So Pyromancer responds to this, and he says, well, if you aren't subbing, then you may as well unfollow and leave the stream, because you aren't doing anything to support the streamer. Sorry if that makes you feel guilty or something, but it's the truth. No, that's a no. And the guy responds, says, man, I've been subbed to you for a while, but to say if you aren't subbed, you should unfollow and leave the stream because you don't want to watch a chain of ads just sounds bad. They even said a couple is fine. The viewer is just as right as you are. So there's something that I'm going through on my stream as well, is that I was running, I was doing a Twitch ad incentive program, and I was running ads like every so often, like every, I think I got it up to, it was like every 12 minutes, every 13 minutes, and then it got down to every 10 minutes, and then every 8 minutes. So I was bombarding my viewers with ads, and my viewership dropped, as I knew it would. I was like, I'm going to lose viewers because of this. And I did it for almost a year, close to a year. And I looked at the data, And sure enough, decline. People, it essentially alienated new people and old people. They even told me straight up, they were like, I couldn't stand the ads, so I'll just stop by every now and then. I'll check out your YouTube channel. I'll see what clips are coming out, but I can't sit through those ads. So I made the conscious decision to end that experiment. Even though I kind of knew what was going to happen, I wanted to do it anyway. And ads are not good. They're not good for streamers. They're not good for viewers, especially when they're forced in this way to where you have no control over them. Well, I'm not gonna say no control. You have less control over them than you would like. Because I was a big fan of just running ads at the top of the hour. I used to do that all the time. I would like say, okay, I'm taking a break. I'm gonna run ads, and that would remove like a lot of the pre-rolls that Twitch had and all that kind of good stuff. So what Pyro's saying here, and let's get back to this. What Pyro is saying here is that if you aren't subbing, then you may as well unfollow and leave the stream. Now, anybody with half a lick of common sense knows that he's way off here. Because if you're watching the stream, these are some obvious points. If you're watching the stream, if you're there, you're helping. If you follow the stream, you're helping. If you do anything on social media or go to YouTube and click a like button or subscribe anywhere, these are all things that don't cost you any money and they don't take that long. Some of these things don't take that long to do. You're helping. And I tell my viewers this all the time, and it's true. It's true. But there's several tiers of support that streamers look at, right? You got the people that are a vast majority of your viewer base, which are just there watching. And those people are, you know, they're clicking like buttons. Some of them are and some of them aren't. And then you got people that are like your subs. They sub every month. And then you got your super people, which are like patron supporters, and they gift subs and they give bits and all the time, and they're very active in the community, right? So you got different tiers of people that you look at. I think somewhere along the line, Pyro just got those lines mixed up, and he's just saying if you're not supporting the stream monetarily, you might as well leave. And I think that wasn't a well thought out comment. That wasn't a well thought out comment at all. I think he's way off there, way off. I know where this is coming from because I've been streaming for a very long time as well. Well, not as well. I don't know how long he's been streaming. I know where this is coming from. It's a frustration point for streamers to try to monetize their content as much as possible without, number one, alienating your streamers with ads. Number two, constantly begging for subs or bits or tips, or you know, constantly running like promotions and hashtag ad moments where you're like promoting a mobile game, which I have to do sometimes as well. You know, there's a lot of things that we have to do to monetize our streams as streamers that don't necessarily go too well off for our viewers. We don't have the luxury, especially a streamer my size, we don't have the luxury to pick and choose as much as other people do. Now, Pyro's stream is a lot larger than mine, so I can't really speak on equal ground with him. But for a streamer my size, I depend on everything. I depend on my YouTube channel. I depend on people who go on Twitter, people who are on my Discord, my 3D printing community, my Twitch community, you know, the clips, the TikTok stuff, and all the other projects I got in the works, all my merchandise and all that. I've got a lot of things going on, and I have to reach from all those different buckets to make ends meet. I can't just depend on Twitch. So if Twitch, you know, if I'm like Pyro and I have his kind of viewership, maybe I can say something like this and get away with it. But if I alienate my viewers like this, it would be a big mistake because, number one, it's not who I am. And number two, it's just stupid. You don't want to do anything like that. So this conversation continues to go on. And Pyro just doesn't hold back, man. This is a rant that he has here. And he has he's deleted his Twitter account as a result of this, so it's gone. But I see screenshots here that came out shortly after he did it. Just saying, this is another thing. I can make it bigger for you guys. Just saying, the attitude around ads and ad blockers being the normal and acceptable thing to do is part of the reason why entitled viewers exist. We aren't worth watching monetarily in the eyes, and for some of us, myself included, this is our primary income. So when you brag or recommend ad blockers to other viewers instead of subscribing to get no ads or purchasing Twitch Turbo, you kind of A, not supporting the streamer monetarily in any fashion, and getting free content when you shouldn't be, and B, encouraging others to do the same. There's a lot to unpack there. There's quite a bit to unpack there. There is a such thing as entitled viewers, and generally those viewers make themselves known to me when they speak out. When you know for a fact that they're brand new, you can tell somebody's brand new to your channel, and they haven't followed. They haven't been there very long, based on what you can see, and they give you some kind of criticism that serves them more than anybody else on the stream, and it's a very harsh thing. Like they'll say, "Why don't you play Elden Ring?" And I go, "Well, I don't want to play Elden Ring right now." And they go, "You should play Elden Ring because you only have 25 viewers. Why are you playing this stupid game? You should play Elden Ring. You'll get more viewers with Elden Ring." So it's like that type of viewer is just like, that's a very self-serving type of thing. And while what he's saying may be somewhat accurate, in this case it probably isn't, but he may give you some valid opinions. That delivery of that message means that he's kind of entitled to getting what he wants from the streamer. If he's like, if you don't do what the viewer says and they continue to push it, they're kind of, they're probably used to getting their way. So I categorize those people as entitled viewers. There's a way to give criticism to a streamer, and there's a way to basically try to dictate what they do. And I can tell the difference between the two. But when you start to bring money into the picture, entitlement kind of loses its definition. It's like, if someone doesn't subscribe to me, or someone doesn't give me bits, or someone doesn't subscribe to my Patreon, or they don't donate to me on Ko-fi, if they are just there watching, they don't even have to follow, and they're just lurking, I don't have a problem with those people. I don't think they're worthless. I don't think there's something that they're doing wrong. I think the value that they add to my stream is there. I have no problem with lurkers. The thing is that I don't see anything wrong with those people, but I think more of the people that participate, that put forth energy into the community, people that go above and beyond, and they'll even give me money and stuff like that, which to me is an incredible thing on the internet, to give a total stranger, in some cases a total stranger, money just for being you, right? I think that's a really exceptional thing. That's way up here. But the people that are just lurking, just doing their thing, just hanging out, chit-chatting every now and then, I got no problem with those guys. I'm glad they've come by my channel. There's something that I say all the time on my stream. It's like, you can be anywhere on Twitch. You can be anywhere. You can go to any channel on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or anywhere, but you chose to hang out here today. And to me, that's really, really humbling and really special to me, that you chose my channel. Out of the thousands of channels on Twitch, you chose mine. To me, that's enough. That's fine by me. If you're doing that, that's absolutely amazing and great. So thank you. And I thank those people who do that. And I don't want to call them entitled or anything, just because they're not subbing. So this statement here, oh man. If these people leave because there's ads running, I don't blame them, because I've done it myself. I've been to a stream and or I've been to a YouTube channel, or I've been to something and some sort of an ad runs. I don't see many ads on Twitch, but like if I'm on YouTube and I'm getting bombarded by ads, I just say, all right, I'm not watching this, because there's a balance between, trying not to hit my mic. That's why my hands are doing weird things. There's a balance between content value and patience with ads. If the value of the content outweighs the annoyance of the ads, people will generally watch the ads in general. And that content value goes way up when they've seen your content before and they enjoyed it, they liked it, they subscribed to your channel, or was recommended by a friend to say, watch the whole thing, watch to the end. Or it's just, your content is just that good. If an ad comes up, especially on YouTube, they'll just wait for the ad, because YouTube does a good job of letting you skip ads. They still do. It's still, still pretty good. It's probably not going to be that good that much longer. But they'll wait because the content is just that good. That's why as a content creator, I strive to make content good enough for people to skip ads if I'm relying on that video to bring me income. So he goes on to say, I guess as both a viewer who watches streams without ad block and someone who subs to channels, he genuinely doesn't want to miss moments of, it's confusing why it's acceptable to treat streamers this way. It seems to be much a common thing to be mentioned in streams nowadays. And he's talking about recommending ad block. I don't really recommend ad block to anybody. I always say ad block is there. If you ad block, I'm not going to do anything about it. What can I do? That's you. You're going to do it. I do believe that, now this is my belief that I don't really impart on others, but I believe that if you provide a valuable service or content on the internet, you should be compensated for it. I don't think you should have access to everything for free. If you go to a website, you read their stuff and you're there quite a bit, you're getting value out of it, you should see an ad. I think you should. And I have a love-hate relationship with ads because I don't have a problem with advertisements. I have a problem with tracking, with cross-site tracking. That's why I use the Brave browser, because I don't want my data to be tracked because I didn't sign up for that. And these days, tracking data is more valuable than advertisement clicks, which is why so many sites and like Amazon and Facebook and Apple and Microsoft, this is why they track your activity so much, because that tracking data is much more valuable to them monetarily than it is an advertisement. So I don't have a problem with seeing an advertisement, but I don't want you to sell what other sites I'm looking at to some unknown vendor or some unknown country to make money. So that's where I draw the line. That's why I have ad blockers on my machine, is because I don't want you tracking me, because I didn't sign up for that. There's nothing on your site that says in order to watch this content, I need to track you. No, I'm not doing that. But if you show me just a normal ad, okay, I watch the ad and I'll see a banner, I'll see a little ad. Sorry, I hit my mic again. I'll see a little ad. I'll see a little banner. I don't mind that. I never have a problem with that, because I feel like there should be something for that content. I don't think you should get everything for free, despite what the internet has kind of trained internet users to do these days. People are used to getting everything for free, and when they don't, they start to cry. So he says, and I'm sorry, but if this makes you feel bad, you should. We aren't traditional media. We aren't megacorps with tons of shows and billionaire backers. We are individual people and are often treated like we have these advantages of mainstream media that we simply do not. I agree with that. We don't have deep pockets, and I say we because I'm talking about streamers my size and in my situations. We generally don't have a lot of leeway with this type of stuff. We need all we can get. And when people come in our streams and say, use ad block, in the truth, that does hurt us, because that's one less ad impression. Even though it's not a lot of money, you're basically coming in and saying, hey, this is what you should do to bypass this streamer's way of making money. So as a person who's using that money, it's easy to have an objection with that. Now, there's a lot of streamers out there that's like, I don't care about ads. I don't care about that. So it's because they got money coming in from somewhere else. They either got a part-time job, or they're making a lot more money on their YouTube or TikTok. They got a side gig. I don't know. They may be working for DoorDash or Uber Eats or something. I don't know what they're doing. But the streamer thing is a side thing. When your live stream is your main thing, you really care about this stuff. So it's understandable that Pyro is sensitive to this topic, because this is your livelihood. This is your income. People they laugh at the idea of a streamer being a job or a profession, but you're doing something and you're getting paid for it. So that right there, I don't care if you're on the street, tap dancing or playing a guitar. If that's how you make money, that's your job. That's what you do. The idea of traditional job versus streamer is really laughable to me, because there's so many ways to make money, to me, which are, not necessarily what you would call a job, but because you're making money from it, it's your livelihood. So I can kind of understand where Pyro's coming from that perspective, but I think his statement here is very brash, and is very, it's not a well-rounded and well-thought-out statement. There's a lot of things that he's speaking that just aren't true, or they're portrayed in the wrong way. And he says, lastly, It should not be frowned upon or socially unacceptable for a streamer to say things like this because of perceived advantages. Being told you can't complain about something you've experienced, but I haven't, is pretty infuriating. Yeah. And then he says this. I think this is the straw that broke the camel's back. This is what got people really upset with Pyro. He says, sorry to tell you this because it's going to break your little heart. Not a good start to a sentence. But if you're a streamer that doesn't even average 3 to 5 viewers, you aren't much of a streamer. Stop walking around spouting opinions about streaming as if you have any idea what's going on. Sorry, not sorry. I used to have friends like this. They were very blunt and very, very abrupt and just brash, you know. What he's saying here is very, very insensitive, but it is accurate. The second part of this is probably the part that I think is more accurate. Your opinion about streaming and what streamers should do should not be portrayed as the absolute de facto standard if you're averaging 3 to 5 viewers, right? What you're saying really doesn't have a lot of weight on streaming per se if you're only averaging 3 to 5 viewers. That doesn't necessarily mean what you're saying is false. It just means that if you're 3 to 5 viewers, what you say on these topics, you really shouldn't be puffing it up as if it's all of that. You should be a little bit more humble. You know, that would be my statement. If I were to say this to someone, I'm like, listen, man, you have 3 to 5 viewers. Maybe you should humble yourselves a little bit and, you know, not necessarily, you know, be a little bit dismissive to what this other guy's saying who has 200, 300 average concurrents. He might know a little bit more, or, you know, you might want to consider his opinion. You know, you can say things like that in a different way. What he's saying here, like I said, is not wrong, because you really got to know your place in this industry. This is how it is, man. If you're like, let's talk about other entertainment avenues. Like if Tom Cruise were to show up and complain about a director's, you know, how he's doing something, and then you come up and you've only been an extra in Spider-Man or something, and you come up and you disagree with Tom Cruise and tell the director what he's doing, you know, there's going to be a weight on each other's opinion. You know, you can't really puff your chest and go and beat your chest and go, I'm right, if you've only been an extra and not even a lead role or even a supporting role in a film. What you're saying might be correct, but you got to be a little bit more humble about it. I think humility is a lost art these days. So he said this completely wrong. There's a thing I like to say, is that you can say the absolute right thing in the absolute wrong way and completely nullify it. So his point that he got across is just completely gone because of the way he said it. You got to be more succinct. You got to be more tactful. You got to be more sensitive when you say stuff like this, because people are very defensive when it comes to their view count, because view count is everything when you're a live streamer. Everything depends on it. People may say, oh, view count doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. View count is the only thing that matters. Average concurrence is the only thing that matters when you're talking about monetization, right? When you're just talking about streaming as a hobby, or just streaming as something as a pastime, or just something that you're trying to grow your community and you're trying to get people involved, yeah, the view count may not matter as much. But when you talk about monetization, you're talking about advertisements, you talk about, you know, whether or not to say, you know, ad block in my channel or stuff like that. Absolutely, your view count matters, because that's how you get paid. Your CPM from your ads is based on your view count. The advertisements and the sponsors that you get are based on your view counts. You know, when you get a Twitch bounty to play some game or to do something, they pay you based on your view count. So it absolutely means everything. To say that it doesn't is ignoring the monetization aspect of it. So Pyro, he did some stuff, man. He deleted his Twitter account. I first covered him. If you guys don't know, I first covered him when he had his rant about WoW versus Final Fantasy 14. And he's since been playing a lot more Final Fantasy 14 since then. I don't know if he's been completely sticking with it. I think he did go back to WoW for something. I'm not sure for the latest WoW expansion. But he has since issued an apology. He has issued an apology, and I'm not gonna react to it or anything here, but he has issued an apology, basically saying what he said was stupid, and he has a habit of thinking or speaking before he thinks, and this is a concept that I am very adamant about, and that was kind of like the theme of what I've been saying so far is you really gotta these statements have to be more well-rounded. And what he said the reason why, and I kind of agree with this, the reason why he deleted his Twitter accounts because he really doesn't give a lot of thought to what he does on there. And it not forces him, but it encourages him to do stupid stuff like this. So he just deleted it, which I think is a healthy activity. Twitter's not for everybody. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of stuff about Twitter that's very, very bad for you. And for someone to step away from Twitter to do anything else, I applaud. So I'm glad he's taken that step. This isn't the first time he's done this. I know a lot of people are saying, he's gone off the deep end more than once. And, and I've known people like this. I've been friends with people like this where they seem self-destructive and they seem like they really don't know what they're doing with their life. And they just always say the wrong thing. But there is, like I said, there's a way to say things. The intention may be valid. The factual information may be there, but the delivery is everything. And he had a lot of truth in what he was saying, but the way he said it is everything. This is what people are saying. This is why people are saying, oh, okay, this very first thing he put up here, if you aren't subbing and you may as well unfollow and leave the stream, you shouldn't have said that. I don't even know. I can't justify that at all. That just sounds like, man, that's where he dropped the ball here. Everything else that I've seen here, I can kind of agree with. But if someone says they don't want to sit through more than 2 ads, and you say, well, you might as well leave if you're not going to support the stream, or if you're not going to do anything monetary, if you're not going to buy Twitch Turbo, you might as well leave. I wouldn't say that to anybody. If someone were, this is where I would get very close to it though. If someone would come in my channel and say, man, I don't know how in the world you expect us to watch this many ads, Bwana. And then I'll talk with the viewer and I'll go, okay, I'm not running ads myself because I'm not right now. It must be Twitch's automatic mid-rolls that are going. And if they keep arguing with me about it and they go, Bwana, this is ridiculous. These ads are running. And I have no control over it. I would say, man, well, I'm sorry. Might be time to go to another stream because I don't have any control over it. The ads are going to run. I'm not going to recommend ad block to them because that hurts me. Ad block stuff is out there, but I'm not going to recommend it to them. I'm going to say, man, the stuff is here. And I'm not going to recommend Twitch Turbo. I'm not going to recommend subbing. That's not going to be the first thing I do. But I will mention, I'm like, you can get rid of ads if you sub, or you can get Twitch Turbo. And if they still complain about it, I'm like, well, obviously they don't want to get Twitch Turbo. They don't want to get subscriptions. So maybe it's time to go, man. I'm sorry that you don't like it here, but I have no control over what's happening. I'll try to word it that way instead of going, well, if you're not subbing, you might as well unfollow and leave the stream because you're not doing anything to support me. You see what I'm saying? It's like similar things are being conveyed, but one is just like, bleh, and the other one's just like, oh, you got to ease into it, man. But this is a very hot topic. This is one of the reasons why I stopped running the Twitch ad incentive program, is because it was deterring new people from my stream, number one. So people would come by, they would watch, and I would go back and look at the data after the fact, and they would come and then they would leave. Sometimes it would take 2. I think that was the magic number. It would take like 2 of these barrages of ads, because I would run ads like every 10 minutes. So an ad would run, they would stay, and then it would run again. They were like, all right, I'm out. And the view count would drop. And then that would repeat. And it would slowly climb up again. And then the same trend would happen again. Boom, boom. Ad block, not ad block, but a block of ads would run. People would leave. And I don't think that's worth, I don't think it's worth it. Especially with how Twitch is being very aggressive with ads now. So I agree with Pyro in a lot of ways, but I don't agree with this statement about unfollowing and leaving. But the statements surrounding just recommending Turbo and How you police your channel with people saying to use ad block, that's up to the streamer. I generally don't like people talking about ad block in my channels because, like I said, it's something I need. And I depend on the revenue from the ads, even though I don't like running them, but I still get revenue from them. And to tell people to run ad block, but don't supplement that with something else like Patreon or Ko-fi or something like that, that'd be kind of dumb of me to do that. Like I said, if streaming weren't my main thing, if this was just a side thing, and you know I got a lot more income on Patreon, I got a lot more income on Ko-fi and stuff, then yeah, if streaming is just a side thing to supplement other content, I'm like, yeah, run ad block, man. You know, it wouldn't mean as much, but person my size, I depend on it. You probably notice a lot of larger streamers out there will recommend ad block. That's probably the case. They don't need that revenue as much as others do. And I don't know where Pyro sits in that, but that's money in your pocket, man. That's money in your pocket. So the moral of the story is don't depend on live streaming for your main source of revenue. I've been saying that too for a long time, but I still depend on it. So check this story out. There's nothing but screenshots, so I'll link the screenshots since Pyro, he deleted his Twitter, but I can link you to his apology, and you can take a look at it, and you can decide what to do with it and stuff. I'm hoping that he comes out of this. He seems to be in a very dark place with a lot of things. I know he's going through a lot with his wife, and last I heard, she had some kind of some health problems and stuff. So he's going through a lot mentally, and he's stressed out in a lot of ways. So I'm hoping he comes out of this, man. And I'm hoping that he develops a way to express himself online better. And I think leaving Twitter is a good first step. Oddly enough, I think leaving Twitter is a good first step. I'm not a hateful person. I can try to see the good in anybody, and I try to point out people's mistakes. And yeah, he clearly made a mistake. There's no doubt about it. The things he said were absolutely wrong. And but there's some truth to it, and there's not. So check it out, and thanks for watching the video. Thank you, patrons. Go to patreon.com/Bwana. My patrons, Patreonites, thank you so much. These guys are so great. For as little as $5 a month, you can support my endeavors here on Twitch, on the YouTubes, on Bwana Labs, on Bwana Clips, on the TikToks, on the something else that I do. Thank you so much for supporting me. This is the main way that I get food and other things. Thank you so much for supporting me at patreon.com/Bwana. You guys are the best. That concludes the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.